Today I'm taking you on one of my biggest adventures yet. A few days ago I boarded Valiant Lady, one of the cruise ships from Virgin Voyages, in Barcelona in Spain, and have spent the last few days visiting several ports in Europe. Last night we sailed out of Madeira and are now kicking off our voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. To complete this journey, which is thousands of nautical miles long, it's going to take us 8 full days of sailing. That means that I'll be staying on board this cruise ship for over a week and I won't be able to get off anywhere. Will Virgin, or any cruise for that matter, get boring when I'm stuck on board for such a long time? Well, I guess there's probably only one way to find out. If you enjoy this video, please consider supporting my channel by giving the video your thumbs up, and also click subscribe. So, I've just woken up, it's day 1 of our Atlantic crossing, and welcome on board the beautiful Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I chose this exact ship on this exact itinerary, but rather than talk to you up here in the wind, let's go down to my cabin and I'll cover off the details down there with you. Welcome to my little home from home here on deck number 12 of Valiant Lady. Now, I am staying in a solo insider cabin for the crossing, which, that's right, doesn't have a window. Now, if you're interested in seeing this cabin or any other parts of this cruise ship, then head over to my channel and watch all my other videos under the Virgin Voyages tab. There's loads of content on there that will show you exactly what to expect from a Virgin ship. Now anyway, let's talk about what makes this video slightly different to my other videos on my channel, and then let's look at exactly how this is going to work. Now, first up, why is it different? So if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I would usually create one daily vlog and have that as one episode, and then make my next daily vlog and have that as the next episode. However, in this one episode, I'm going to be showing you 8 entire days at sea on board this cruise ship. So I've got quite the mission on my hands, but I think we're going to do it, so stay tuned. Now, the other thing to mention is that while this video will be showing Transatlantic going in one direction from Barcelona all the way over to Miami, if you stay tuned on this channel, I'm going to show you Transatlantic going the other direction from New York City to Southampton on board Cunard's Queen Mary 2. There is so much that I cannot wait for. I'm genuinely so excited about the next couple of weeks. Now, anyway, let's get started. Let's think about sea day number 1. Let me take you out and about around the ship and show you what I'm getting up to today. I started my Atlantic crossing in the way that I started every single morning on board this cruise ship, which was to have my morning pastry, and very unusually I chose to have a massive plate of fruit, which is very unlike me. Moving outside, let's talk about the weather. This might look absolutely perfect in the video right now. However, do not let appearances fool you. I have never felt a ship move, rock and roll in the way in which Valiant Lady was all day today. At the back of the ship, they had actually removed all of the cushions from all of the furniture that was all weighed down in piles over there. And then, thinking about hot tubs and swimming pools, all of the water from every single hot tub on the whole ship had been drained, and the pools, they were totally empty as well. That applied to the main pool, but also the circular pool that you'll see later in this video. But I've never seen that on a cruise ship before. This video here, again, doesn't really show you the swells that we were dealing with, but this window here, down in the casino, maybe gives you a bit of a better feel for it, as you see the water coming away from the ship and then breaking with the white waves at the top. It was quite something. Now, all I could think of looking out at the horizon was, good grief, do not let this continue for the entire crossing. However, generally speaking, rough weather on a cruise delights me. I actually really enjoy it. So I went inside and cracked on with the magic show. Up first, this was the Charmer, who's one of the Happenings cast, so essentially one of the cruise entertainment team. He put on a magic show today. It only ran for about 30 minutes, but it was a nice way to pass a bit of time. And after that, I then went to the venue directly beside where the magic show was, which was the shopping mall. Now, I couldn't actually believe how quiet the ship felt. I don't have a capacity figure to hand, but there's no way that the ship was anywhere near full for this Atlantic crossing, because all of the pictures you're seeing, all of the videos you're seeing, were taken in the middle of the day. So I don't know where all of the passengers were if it was full. Now, I didn't find the pricing on the Virgin ships to be great at all. And in fact, this sun cream was $31 US. That's right, $31 for a little tub of sun cream. No thank you. Anyway, dinner tonight was in the Test Kitchen. Now, this is a restaurant that I like the novelty of it, but I've never been the biggest fan of it. It's also quite surprising to learn that the menu in here hasn't changed since I was last on this ship. So I cruised on Valiant Lady when she launched back on short UK cruises a good while ago, and the menu in here is absolutely identical. So you may be getting deja vu when I show you what I had, but I had a tomato gazpacho followed by the infamous egg and pea course. That was then followed by, I believe this was fish, if I'm not mistaken, and then I moved on to venison, which, by the way, that tasted excellent to give them their due. Where I was sitting in the restaurant, I was able to look straight into one of the little kitchen areas where they present the desserts, which was great because I took this cruise on my own and I didn't know anyone by this point, so it saved me making awkward conversation with people around me. It gave me something to look at. I then had a blue cheese course, and I then got to try the desserts I'd watched the lady make. All in all, a great day, but let's hope that tomorrow the rocking of the ship calms down. Okay, it's now day number 2 of the crossing, and this is going to be significantly quicker to tell you about than yesterday was. Now, the reason for that is that I'm having a work day. So, I'll be here in my cabin with my laptop, or heading down to the coffee shop a little bit later on for a change of scenery, because I've got some YouTube bits I need to do. I'm hoping to get a Patreon blog post done today. I'm hoping to have a YouTube video edited fully by the end of today, so that when we reach Miami at the end of the crossing, I can then begin to upload some videos to keep me ahead while I'm on my next cruise ship. So yeah, not a great deal for you to see here because it's just going to be me working away on a laptop. But tonight, however, I'll take you out and about around the ship and show you what's on, because I've got dinner booked at Pink Agave, which is the elevated Mexican on board. And then we're going to a show that I've never ever seen before on a Virgin ship. So plenty to see. So look, let me crack on with a bit of work here, and I'll see all of you out on the ship tonight. Work complete for the day, it was now time to head out for dinner. As you know, I was going into Pink Agave, which is the Mexican restaurant, which has got potentially the most Instagrammable restaurant entrance on the whole ship. I absolutely love Pink Agave. I've eaten in here multiple times and I've never ever had a bad meal. This is my go-to. It's spiced corn with a chipotle mayo aioli dip, and it is absolutely wonderful. I then had spicy potatoes followed by duck for a main. After my dinner, I then grabbed a dessert quickly before heading out to try out a brand new show that I'd never seen before on a Virgin cruise. The show tonight was called The Misbehaved Show, and I'm going to be really careful to not give too much away, because one thing that I particularly enjoyed about this was that I had absolutely no idea what to expect. All I will say, because it's pretty clear looking at these pictures, is that the level of chaos in this room was hilarious. Now, one thing that people ask me often about Virgin is, would I be too old? Would I be too young? What is the age demographic? Well, they did something on here where they actually identified the oldest sailor on the ship. Look at this.
If you are 50 or under, sit down. If you're 55 or under, 60, 65,
76, 77, 78, 78, 79, 80, 81, 81.
you better not be lying.
It's day 3, and should I start this by saying Dear Diary? I feel... No, we're not even going there, but welcome back to my video diary of crossing the Atlantic on a cruise ship. So it's now day 3, and I'm just back in my cabin after going for the best Danish I've ever had in my entire life. Now let me show you, this was an almond Danish, and you can get that down at the Grounds Club, which is a coffee shop down on deck 7. So I cannot believe I've been on this ship now for a whole week and I'm only just finding out that that's there. So I knew the coffee shop was there, but I'd never tried the food. So really, really big thumbs up, and probably a disaster for my waistline for the rest of the cruise. Now after that I went a walk and remained on deck 7. So deck 7 is actually my favourite place to walk on the ship because it's got a promenade that goes all the way around from the front to the back and then along and all the way around. So it's really, really cool. You also can go right under the very front of the ship. It goes really industrial in there. I just absolutely love it. Now, after my walk, I came back to the cabin because, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about emergencies now. And I couldn't believe it. I came back, jumped in a quick shower, and when I came out the shower, the TV told me to go gather my life jacket, get some warm clothing, and head down to my muster station. Now, if you haven't cruised before, the muster station is where you go when you evacuate or when you abandon the ship and you have to get into lifeboats. So I was panicked, to say the least. It turns out it was some sort of glitch which shut down the TVs, shut down the tablets in the cabins. It broadcast the message onto TVs around the ship, and it also locked my screen on my Virgin Voyages app to say that an incident had been reported and that we were all to go to muster station. So, not Virgin Voyages' finest hour, but they have come on and they have apologised about it. So, I'm hoping that later today the TVs and whatnot will be back in action, but that was, yeah, not ideal. Now, on that topic of emergency evacuation, let's talk about weather, because today our weather is actually pretty good, and actually that's why I was so caught off guard at the thought of having to abandon this blooming ship, because in the last 2 days we've had quite a high swell in the ocean, and that sort of felt as though the ship has been rolling over quite big speed bumps for the last couple of days. Now today it's felt pretty calm, which definitely for a minute felt like the calm before the storm, but no, all is fine. Out on the decks it's pretty nice, so hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit of time outside today. Now, in terms of my plan for today that I'm now going to take you out and about and show you what is going on, I'm going to begin my day with a lecture on plastic pollution. Now, I love, love, love that Virgin are bringing in these academic lectures into the itinerary, because that will actually tick the box that a lot of people think is currently not being ticked by Virgin. Companies like Cunard, companies like Princess, those guys all do lectures, but Virgin, I've never seen one on a ship before, so I'm definitely going to go and support that. After that, later this afternoon, I've got a game show which is being held by, or being hosted rather, by the Diva, which is the Onboard drag act, which I just find so funny. So I'm going to go to that, and then tonight it's going to be Scarlet night. Now this is the big one, which I will do a separate video to talk to you in a little bit more detail about what you can expect from Scarlet night. But long story short, it's a ship-wide party, but I'll tell you more about that in a little second. Now, other than that, today I am hoping, if I can get it here, I'm hoping to make some progress on my book. Now, this book has been on about 7 ships with me now, and as you can see, I'm currently at page 42. So I haven't made a great deal of progress, so I'm hoping that today I'm going to get a good chunk of the way through that. So yeah, look, let's head down to this lecture, and then let me take you about to explore yet another day crossing the Atlantic Ocean on Valiant Lady. Let's get started. Up first today was the lecture on plastic pollution. I think it's absolutely fantastic that Virgin are bringing experts in their field on board to present lectures to passengers. What's even better is that those topics are really relevant to the industry that Virgin are operating in. I honestly respect this so much, so Virgin, if you happen to watch this video, a massive well done for really striking the chord right on this one. Further back in the ship, it was time for the game show. Now, the prize here was that you would be able to name a float that would then be available for the rest of the cruise. I'm not going to comment on how this went / what the winner was. I'm not convinced it would be clean enough for YouTube, but that was very funny. I really enjoy anything that the drag artist on board is involved in. Outside, the weather today was still pretty rocky, still pretty rolly, but a heck of a lot better than it was yesterday. What that meant for us on board was that the swimming pools had been refilled. You can see here that there's nobody sunbathing though, so that says a lot about the temperature. All of the cushions at the back of the ship were now back on the furniture, and it felt much more like a normal day's experience on a Virgin cruise. Going back to the cabin, one thing had changed. The entire corridor had turned red, which meant that it was time now for probably the most famous night on board any Virgin cruise ship, and that is Scarlet Night. If you've never heard of Scarlet Night before, this is a full ship immersion that Virgin have brought out, and it's probably the first time I've ever seen anything like this taking place on any cruise ship. Now, without telling you too much about it, because Scarlet Night is really special to discover for yourself, you can expect every single venue and every single place on the ship to be totally transformed. First of all, it'll probably be red for the night, and secondly, there'll be activities, there'll be events, there'll be drinks, there'll sometimes be food available in those venues, going to the theme of Scarlet Night. I absolutely love how much all of the sailors buy into this. The entire ship, both inside and as you can see here, out, go completely red, and the atmosphere is tremendous. One really heartwarming thing that I found inside the ship tonight was this fishing net, where you were invited to attach messages to this, which were things that you would love to say to other people on board the ship. I'll cycle through some of them now, but honestly, I couldn't help but smile when I read some of these and just realised how pure they were. I honestly, yeah, if you are coming on a ship and you are going to go to Scarlet Night, make sure you stop by this net and just pop something on and make somebody's day. Here's an example of one of the venues that was totally transformed. This is the Sip Champagne Lounge on board. You can see here, it is totally red. I absolutely love the theming that they do all through the ship. Now, one really clever thing in here is that there's a table game. I won't tell you too much about the game, but it's designed to help you get to know your fellow passengers. After that, it was time to head into the Red Room for a few words from the hostess, who is one of the top entertainers on board the ship, who tells the story of Scarlet Night. And after that, I went exploring around the rest of the ship to check out every venue so that I could understand just how well executed Scarlet Night really is. I'm going to put together a separate video to tell you so much more about the detail of Scarlet Night, so if you're not already, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel by clicking the button directly underneath this video. While you're there, remember to give this video your thumbs up, because that massively helps my content to reach more people. I'm going to leave you now to enjoy what happened up on the top deck of the ship, and that is the absolute climax of Scarlet Night, which is the pool party.
Can you feel her power, sailors?
Yes, Scarlet Night really is a massive ship-wide party. After the top deck, I then went down and checked out the Manor, which turns into the Onboard nightclub for Scarlet Night, and after that, I then called it a night. That brings us to the end of this video, which is part 1 of my video diary of what it's like to cross the Atlantic Ocean on board a huge Virgin cruise ship. Make sure you come back to my next episode to check out the next couple of days, including our arrival into Miami. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video today, did you know that you can become a member of my YouTube channel for an exclusive behind the scenes look at some of the ships that I'm travelling on? If you're over on Patreon, then I would love to see you over there. All you have to do to join me on that community is just search www.patreon.com/Fraser@Sea. Both my YouTube memberships and my Patreon site lead directly to me getting on more cruise ships, and both offer a completely behind the scenes look at what's going on.